Hey everyone, I'm Lindsay Ashley with Keller Williams Realty Select, and I'm a realtor here in the beautiful Sunshine State of Florida. And I have another very important topic to discuss with you today: how to buy a house while selling your own. Sure, you may have purchased your last home and thought, wow, this home is just perfect for my family. I can't wait to live here forever. And the truth is though, that families' needs can change over time. And sometimes that means relocating to another state and finding a new home that makes more sense for your needs. So what do you do if you already have a home and a mortgage, but you're looking to make a switch? It's actually less complicated than you might think, and we're going to cover all of those details. Make sure you stick around until the end of the video so you can learn the best tips and tricks for selling a home while buying another home at the exact same time. Before we begin, consider subscribing to the channel and clicking the notification bell. If you are serious about purchasing or selling a home here in Florida, you'll want to stay up to date with all of my future videos with helpful information about the most amazing housing market here in the Sunshine State. Thank you for subscribing, and here we go. Do your research. First, make sure you evaluate the market. It's important to get a good idea of what the real estate market is doing so that you can take the correct approach to selling and buying. For instance, you will want to determine if you're in a buyer's market or a seller's market. Having an experienced real estate agent can help you with this, and it's highly recommended. Not only will they be able to give you an idea of what the housing market is currently doing, we can also help you evaluate what this transition will be likely for you financially. Next, take a hard look at your finances. With that in mind, it's time to think about what your current home will sell for. I mean, realistically. Sure, we all want the most we can get for our homes when we sell, but we need to take an objective look at the value for what your home really will comp at in the area and act accordingly. Like, be realistic about financial expectations. What will make the process much smoother in the end, as you will be financially prepared to make the transition. One important piece of information to also consider is the amount of equity you have in your current home. While the equity you have in your current home won't be available till after the sale closes, it's still valuable information to have. And I'll explain why in a moment, as it depends on the approach you take to buying and selling properties. Buying before selling. You can consider buying a new home before selling your old one. There are many ways to do this, such as buying your new home and hoping that your current home will sell quickly. If you're in a seller's market like we are in Florida, you might be able to take a risk and buy your new home while still waiting for your old one to sell. And if you feel confident your home will sell for the price you've set, then it might be worth it to take a calculated risk and follow this approach. If you're not in a seller's market, or you don't feel confident about the sale of your current home, you might want to consider other options. Buying your new home with a sales contingency. Buying with a sales contingency can reduce the risk of buying a home before selling, because it basically means that the purchase of your new home has a contingency which states the sale will not go through if your current home doesn't sell by a certain date. And if the sale doesn't happen, you get to back out of that purchase contract entirely. And while this may offer an upside to the buyer, sellers may not be enthusiastic about this option. Think about it from their perspective. If you were selling a home and you had two reasonable offers, but one of them had a sales contingency with the chance of backing out, which one would you choose? Many times, sellers will use the money that they make on the sale of a home to purchase their next home. However, the home buying and selling process can sometimes take a little while, and if closing dates don't line up on the various properties, there may be gaps where outside funding might be needed in the interim to facilitate the transactions. This is where a bridge loan comes in, and this is basically a loan you take out for a short period of time to cover your down payment and closing costs on a new home. A bridge loan that you would pay off with your newly released equity from the sale of your old home. The goal here is to have the bridge loan for the shortest amount of time possible to reduce the interest you would pay for this loan. And using a home equity loan to make the purchase, a home equity loan is basically what it sounds like. Buyers are using the equity in their old home, which they plan to sell, as collateral on a loan to purchase the new home. It's kind of similar to a bridge loan, but might only be feasible for buyers that already have a lot of equity in their previous home. And this is especially true if you are downsizing to a smaller and presumably less expensive property. Sometimes it might not be a bad idea to hang on to your current property. If you can make it work financially and the demand is there, you could rent your old property and continue to build equity in that property. Furthermore, if you're not in a competitive seller's market, your house might not sell for a little while. That doesn't mean you can't still rent it in the meantime. Might as well make some money even if your home doesn't sell right away. Alternatively, you could consider selling your current home before buying your new home. And this approach works a bit differently than buying before selling. There are multiple ways to do this, such as sell your home and hope you can find a new one quickly. This method is appropriate in a buyer's market, as you have a bit more leverage and could reasonably depend on the market to help you find a new place quickly. There are still risks involved, however. If you don't find a new home quickly, you may end up having to pay for temporary storage of your belongings or renting, which are all expenses that can add up quickly. Be sure to consult your agent to determine if this approach is realistic for your current market and the homes that you're interested in. If you have many requirements or stipulations about the neighborhood you want to live in, the number of bedrooms, bathrooms, other amenities, that may make it harder to find a suitable property to buy. Most of the time, it takes about a month to close on a home. While this may sound like enough time to get things done, sometimes it's ideal to have a little bit more time. As a seller, you can ask your buyer for a longer closing period to give you time to find a new home. Not all buyers will agree to this, but others might prefer this arrangement. For example, if the buyer has a lease at a rental property that doesn't expire for 2 months, it might be ideal for them to extend the closing process as well as avoid early termination of their lease. It's a win-win. Request a rent back clause. Let's say you sell your current home to a buyer, but you have not yet found a new home to purchase for you and your family. What do? One option is to ask your buyer for a rent back or a lease back clause, which allows you to rent the property from them until such time that you are able to move into your new home. This could give you the extra time you need to buy a new property and relocate while ensuring that you still have a roof over your head. Sounds a lot less stressful, doesn't it? What's next? You've got a lot of options when it comes to buying and selling properties. How do you decide what's best for you and your family? Well, one thing's for sure, working with an experienced real estate agent is a great way to remove a lot of the mystery from the entire process. Real estate agents are sources of knowledge and encouragement that can walk you through the entire process, ensuring that you are able to sell your current home and buy the next one while reducing headaches that can occur throughout the entire process. Think about it. A real estate agent's full-time job is to act as your representative. We have access to see lots of properties in your area and can find homes that meet your needs. This is why we save you time and energy of searching for yourself. We can also track down other agents and sellers and set appointments and schedule viewings of homes for you. Also, if you're selling, we can handle the phone calls asking about your property, answer all the questions that buyers or buyer agents may have, and schedule the viewings of your own property. Lastly, we even help when it's time to negotiate, as we have experience understanding the value of homes based on the area, amenities, and more. It just makes a whole lot more sense to have someone in your corner like that. Don't you agree? With that in mind, I want to remind you who I am and what I can do for you here in Florida. I am Lindsay Ashley with Keller Williams Realty Select. And if you are looking for a realtor to help with your next home purchase or sale, head on over to www.lindsayashley.com. You can schedule a free call with me to talk about your plans, buy, sell, or contact me today so we can work together to find a home that you love. All right, everyone, those were some tips and tricks to help you buy a new home and sell your old one at the same time. What kind of strategy will you use to make your transition into the home of your dreams? Let me know in the comments below. Also, do not forget to subscribe and click the notification bell. You will not want to miss my upcoming videos all about the real estate market here in the sunny, sunshine state of Florida. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.